Now, Parliament has extended its sittings to include Saturdays and Mondays as it pushes to wrap up pending business before its planned adjournment of the end of July 2025. Channel One News' new Ayukwe Okai followed proceedings and has its report.
The Ablekuma North Rerun election was conducted in 19 polling stations on Friday due to earlier disputes over irregularities. The exercise was marred by pockets of violence, including reported assaults on candidates, election observers, journalists, and former Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture Mavis Howell-Kumson. During parliamentary proceedings on Saturday, some members of parliament spoke to Channel One News on the matter.
This was somebody who pulled a gun and shot someone. This was someone who ordered his staff to beat up people who ended up in the hospital. So for Howell-Kumson's own, seriously, I don't have any regret. Because yes, I don't have any regret about what happened to her. She went there purposely to cause the problem that she caused. And I'm happy she had the answers that she got. You see, she went there purposely for two things. To advertise herself for her political ambition, the woman organizer position that she's holding. I've contested for a political position before. And in these times, when you are able to do some, how they call it, a small show, people will think you are in charge. You see, there are three positions. Then when you want to contest in any party, you have to show some kind of forces. Youth organizer, women organizer. So that's exactly what she went and displayed. And this time around, it didn't go well with him. And then she fell on the floor on the what we saw. But I will advise her, she shouldn't try it again. You see, she's a former member of parliament. And she's a former minister. She should behave as such.
A police officer, a peace-making officer, slapping a journalist is a no. I condemn it on no uncertain terms because I see no reason why a police officer who is supposed to maintain peace and order would rather be beating people. Whether the person is a journalist or not, you don't have that right to slap the person or to molest the person or to harass the person because you are a peacemaker. Violence is not something that we are all happy with. And I'm not sure violence should be got violent. We'll be going to Akwetia. Let it be said that this should be the last time that we encounter this kind of violence during any election, whether by-election, mini-election, or general election. It shouldn't be something that we should all be happy with.
I have this position that there is too much literature to support every bad decision everyone does. And because of the abundance of literature to support every bad thing, people will do the bad things and justify it with the literature available. But that should not be counted, and that should not be part of our democratic era. And I think that the authority, the police service, would have to take those people. Let's make example of them. Let's try to show that even if you say it happened in Ayawaso, so how different is the government? When Ayawaso led to the anger of the Ghanaian people towards the previous government. If you say it happened in other jurisdictions, Ghanaians had to pay. I mean, the previous government had to pay for whatever they did. Unless, of course, they are saying that, okay, we want to also go through the same route and Ghanaians should punish us.
They were fighting among themselves to portray as if it was the NDC that was fighting them. All those things that happened yesterday, there was no clear-cut NDC member that involved him or herself in these things. But after this, they've gone to the radio stations, the TV stations, to lambast the NDC for being the cause of those problems. It's rather unfortunate.
The minority members on the Education Committee also spoke to journalists, calling on the government to honor its financial obligations to Ghanaian students abroad on the scholarship scheme.
Today, students in Memphis, Tennessee, in the United States, numbering over 180, are on the verge of being ejected from their university housing, deregistered for the fall 2025 semester, and stripped of their student visa status. Many have had to begin paying their rent in the dire circumstances. Equally worrying are parallel reports emerging from students in the United Kingdom and Eastern Europe facing similar threats. Some are already skipping meals, unable to afford necessities, all while carrying the psychological burden of academic performance in foreign lands. We urge the government of Ghana through the Office of the President, the Ministry of Education, and the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to immediately initiate payment plans, restore open communication channels with affected institutions, and release funds to regularize the status of Ghanaian scholarship beneficiaries abroad.
Lawmakers are urging the police to ensure that perpetrators of the chaos that marred the Ablekuma North election rerun in some polling stations be brought to justice. Reporting for ChannelOne News from Parliament, Ni Ayikwe Okai.